Yes, that's right, it's the all-new Mercedes G-Class. Updated for 2018, it may appear like the boxy off-roader it always was, but it packs new interior tech and all new mechanicals designed to make it more competent off-road while delivering that same retro look. Is it all form and no function though? Let's find out.
To look at, you'd barely think that Mercedes had changed the old G-Class whatsoever, but it's been monumentally thorough. It's taken engineers a Herculean amount of effort to keep all the G's key design features intact, but they've managed it. The bonnet-mounted indicators, boot-mounted spare wheel, and ridiculously flared arches all remain. There are some subtle updates, however, the most notable being the circular LED headlights up front. There's just one engine available at the moment, and that's Merc's tried and tested 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8. Here, it produces an incredible 570 brake horsepower and is driven through to the road via an all-new 9-speed automatic gearbox. You also get side-exit exhaust for a suitably muscle car-like bellow.
Now, a byproduct of that performance is pretty bad fuel economy. On longer runs, we've seen around 20 mpg, which is just shy of Mercedes' claimed 21 mpg. However, around town, that fuel gauge does tend to plummet pretty quickly. Now, one of the most noticeable things that you find when you come and drive the G-Class is the complete absence of any real noise. There's a little bit of tyre noise and there's a little bit of wind noise too, but really the only thing you can hear is that V8 burbling away underneath you, which is in truth exactly what you want to be hearing. Now, for those who are slightly more fuel economy minded, then there is a diesel version on the way to the UK next year, and there's also going to be a plug-in hybrid version. So realistically, the V8 version is the one that most will go for. It accounted for most of the sales of the previous version, and we can imagine that that's going to be the same case for this car. Now, when we're talking about the new G-Class, it's worth referencing just how much of a step up it is over the old car. The fundamentals stay the same. It stays on a ladder chassis, and that's to make it as good as possible off-road. However, elsewhere things have been radically changed. The suspension is new, the steering is new. In truth, pretty much everything else has been changed. And what does that mean? Well, the old car used to go up to a corner and you used to close your eyes and used to think, I really do hope it goes around this corner. And that's really gone away with this new one. Enter a bend, and the steering, though it's a little bit vague, really does get you round there quite easily. And it's a far more pleasurable thing to drive on twisty roads than the older version was. The ride quality in the G-Class is pretty exceptional. Now, because it's a ladder chassis, you do tend to get that slight wobble over certain bumps, but that's to be expected. However, overall it is really good. Now, Mercedes has remembered that the G-Class is an off-roader at heart, and as such there's loads of off-roading tech packed into it. One of the key aspects of that tech remains 3 separate locking differentials, which are ideal for getting over some really tough terrain. The interior of the G-Class has received a similarly comprehensive update to the rest of the car, and you're now sat in front of a gloriously widescreen setup, which is the same as you'll find in the S-Class and E-Class models, as well as dials which are customizable. You can also change all the different interior colour lightings depending on, well, how you're feeling, and when that's combined with the standard fit Burmeister stereo, it makes the inside of the G-Class feel a little bit like a nightclub. As a result of being bigger in nearly every direction, the new G-Class offers better interior space for those sat in the back as well. Now, legroom isn't too bad. The seat is in my position and I'm just under 6 foot, though headroom is really generous. Those back here also get their own climate controls and heated seats too.
There's 667 litres of boot space to make use of in the G-Class, offering more than enough room for most occasions. You can extend this by folding the rear seats down, though there's quite a large step up between the boot floor and those folded rear seats.
If Mercedes' objective was to combine old school looks with new school tech, then it's executed this beautifully in the latest G-Class. It just looks, feels, and most importantly drives so much better than the old car that it replaces. It really is one of Mercedes' latest and greatest products, and it's one of our favourite cars of 2018.